Evening, everybody. It's 10:35 right now when I hit record. Gonna just do a quick, short, and dirty for you so that you can have all the details as I know them right now. We do have storms that have fired up in Washington State below our watch area, still about 200 kilometers off, but they could close the distance still. We have this watch in effect that we're going to talk about right now. Let's see. Okay. So we're looking at southern BC still, same area that I was looking at earlier. It's an interesting watch. Interesting wording on this watch, and they did expand it since when I made the first video shortly thereafter out into the Kootenays, so that even goes as far as Creston. They're talking about conditions are favorable for the development of severe thunderstorms that may be capable of producing strong wind gusts, large hail, and heavy rain. That's in Boundary, West Kootenay, Okanagan Valley, South and Central, from Osoyoos to Kelowna in the overnight hours, midnight to early Thursday morning. That's right. I am Joey Only, the Caribou Weather Dude here, and welcome to my YouTube channel. A lot of new subscribers today, a lot of new likes and viewers. Welcome to the channel. You'll find here someone who's uncompromising about my defense of the sovereignty of Canada. That is something that is definitely up for discussion often here, but also frequent weather updates is what you get when it comes to thunderstorm season in BC in particular. That's one of my specialties, and today's system has defied my understanding in some ways, but yet here we are. Kind of still got it mostly right. Back to our little image at the scene here. Hit like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. Welcome to the channel, Joey Only, Caribou Weather Dude YouTube channel. Up here, Wells, BC, 3,953 feet above sea level, just down the road from Barkerville is where I'm at. Anyways, conditions are favorable for rotation in the atmosphere, leading to possible funnel clouds and a very slight risk of a localized weak tornado over Boundary and West Kootenay regions. Very slight localized weak. And, I mean, if that was to happen, I suspect it would be on a mountainside somewhere, right? So, I mean, don't get too worried about this, but it is out there. I'm not still convinced these storms will even last the whole way until they get there, but, we'll see what kind of energy we're working with here when we look at a couple maps. Meteorologists will be monitoring this conditions overnight, and tornado watches or warnings may be issued. Could see some hail in this as well, right? Now, I'll tell you, the other areas are still under special weather statement. We do have a lot of rain activity going on right now in the Vancouver area. We'll just turn on the radar for a second and have a look and see, like, bam, it's really, really, really turned into just a, mesoscale rain bomb, more or less, and it's hammering hard in there. We do have some of these storms down in Washington State that we're going to be taking a look at in a second here. A little bit of activity still up the coast, but more or less the conditions aren't favorable for severe anymore in most of this area, I don't think. Meanwhile, we do have quite a bit of snowfall and garbage going up through the northern sections. It's all related to this low. I'm going to have to get out of this for a second to kind of illustrate better, but that just sort of gives you an idea where the precipitation's falling here right now. And we'll just get rid of the layers. We'll turn off the radar, and then we'll get rid of the layers. And just to remind you that, there is still snowfall warnings up to 30 centimeters by Friday night. Maybe the heaviest will be during the day on Thursday, but periods will continue through Friday. On the Saskatchewan side, heavy rapidly accumulating snowfall begins early Thursday morning. Along the Yellowhead Corridor, spreads eastward towards Manitoba border by Thursday evening. 10 to 20 centimeters is forecast. You can go find some of our other forecasters like Weather Center Manitoba on YouTube, or Brandon Hauk over in Brooks, Alberta here on Facebook for your more localized reports there. I'm not here for that necessarily, just kind of giving you the lowdown. Let's get over to another map here. We'll look at our convective available potential energy, which is still there right now in the Spokane area to help feed some of these storms. So, hey, that's good. Look at some of these temperatures popping up here. We'll get some actual numbers on the board. Still in the high teens in a lot of places. Look at that, 19 down there at Eastern Oregon Regional Airport. Okay, we do have a 14 reported in Princeton still. I don't know how old that is. 2 hours ago, so it's probably cooled off a fair bit by now. Trail at 9. I don't know if we have the temperatures. I mean, they're warm. They're warm. I don't know if we have the temperatures for these thunderstorms necessarily to get all the way up. But let's have a look where they're at right now. I'll just click the satellite on here for a second. And you can see where their puffs are. Go to infrared. There they are. Nice looking cells near Sainte Marie. Okay. Down the Washington side. A couple strikes here and there. That looks pretty good. Some of this stuff. Okay, well, what are we looking at? Let's zoom out, and then we'll click on the radar now. Try to dial this in a little better. See what we're seeing. So these areas now, still over 100 kilometers outside Spokane. Getting lightning strikes in there. They don't look particularly, impressive storms, but they are for this time of night and this time of year. Yeah, certainly. That's a little bit impressive. What are they thinking for thunderstorms to move through the night? Where are they thinking this is going to go? What's the update? Still has them kind of dying off by the BC border. So I'm skeptical as to whether or not we'll get thunderstorms into BC at all even tonight, whether that'll even happen. But they're out there right now. I mean, here, let me do this for a second. We'll jump over to this radar. Look where they're at. It's formed up a little better in the last little while. I mean, yeah, there's storms out there, and that's not. I don't find the Spokane radar has ever given me a good looking image, so that's probably like the best you're gonna get out of there. It's deep. Yeah, there's some deep storms in there, and they are moving in the direction that our watch area has them in. Bam, up to the BC border. So that's still, it's still on the table. It's still possible tonight. I think our storms that we had over on the Vancouver side were pretty impressive. These guys there's some rain bombs that made their way through the south central interior today. Some of them were pretty looking clouds. Let's have a look at the rain bomb going off down here now, right? So really meso scale, large scale. It's like everything's kind of just turned into one big rain out, just dropping a lot of rain. I'm not seeing lightning in there for quite a while now. We did have storms that had moved up into the Abbotsford area a couple hours ago. We'll hit the play on here, and let's just watch how things played out over the last bunch of hours. That's our storm line coming through at supper time, just dying off. And then here's our next one coming up towards Abbotsford. And yeah, look at how all in behind that, it just turned into a big, colossal rain bomb. So it's pouring heavy down there in a lot of places right now. Pouring heavy. I don't know how much lightning made it across the BC border. Some. Seattle had a pretty good show in that area. Everett, Bellingham had a pretty good show. Definitely had some photos of lightning strikes on some of the bigger mountains out there that I've already seen on my feeds. And we do have right now at this time still have at this time 700 at least lightning strikes in Washington State in the last 20 minutes. So it's flashing out there. The energy's there. Do we have enough for it to turn into severe storms on the BC side of the border? I'm not thinking so, but you might see some flashing light. And I could be wrong. I would take the watch still seriously because some of this defies my logic. And then what happens when it moves into this different terrain, into the mountainous terrain? What do we have for energy on these storms? How much moisture they can pick up? It could be more than you might think. Let's head back to windy for a second here. And last thing we'll look at is just the low itself. What's happening right now is, we'll hit to the satellite. What's happening right now is more or less a low is trying to form in Washington State. It looked a little, I wish I'd taken this a little while later because we would have had a nice little L on here, a nice little bubble to kind of show. And it's not there right now, but you can kind of see how like a low is developing, and it's starting to push through, and it's going to move through the prairies, like, more or less this way. And that's going to be the delivery system for all that snow we're looking at, right? So here's our impressive looking storm on satellite today. Just have a last look at it. If it loads up for us. Come on, you can do it. And it's not gonna. Okay, well, fine. It was really impressive looking earlier today. Nonetheless, okay. Well, you know what? That's a sign. That's a sign that it's time to call it for now. We'll be keeping an eye on here, and if there's anything to talk about later on, if there's something to concerning, hopefully I'll be awake and give you a warning. But keep your ears open, keep your eyes open. You might still have a pretty strong looking storm come through southern interior still yet tonight. Okay, everybody, take care. Talk to you soon. Bye now.